Welcome to another edition of Endurance Noise Daily. I am Andy Noise, and it is September 10th, 2020. This was take two. I learned something every day. I learned that even though I thought I was recording this, I had on a podcast, Trumpcast, on another window, and it recorded that as well. So you can hear me talking over the Trumpcast. Excuse me. We got smoke still in the air here in California. So I get to do this all over again, but no problem. Maybe second take will be better. Kind of news I saw on Facebook. I've been really intrigued by these swim runs. I did triathlons way back in 1981. In fact, won the first one, but I never really had a bicycle even back then. In fact, shoot, I rode a Schwinn Varsity back then. It's a piece of junk, huge, heavy bike, and I used to borrow bikes and to race. So the run, swim, run, I'm really looking forward to, and I've been kind of interested in finding these races. The races originally got started over in Sweden, where they would run on the trails and then swim across lakes and rivers and fjords. And this Odyssey Company's brought out some races. They have one up in Orca Island. This one is in Austin, Texas. It says Spicewood, Texas. And it's going to be happening, and it's 8 weeks away. Unprecedented race day access to private property, cove-to-cove swim lakes, twisty and technical running trails, and 2 cliff jumps optional. Join us November 8th and bring a friend. Pretty tough for me. The long course is 13 miles with 6,000 yards of swimming for a whole course of 16 miles. Short course is 7 miles of running and 3,400 yards of swimming. So it looks pretty cool. I'm definitely going to maybe try and go there. It just kind of depends on my schedule. I've talked to my friend Ed quite a bit, and he's been doing races around the country. And I just don't know if I want to fly with COVID going on and wearing the mask in the airports and on the plane. So we shall see. Hopefully in 8 weeks things kind of settle down. Of course, I've got a race next weekend. Thunder Ultra's Ride to Walk 100-miler, which here they just sent out the pre-race briefings, how they're handling COVID, and then, of course, the fires with the smoke. It is on private property, so the race should be going on. The Jester's going to be there, and Ray Sanchez, who's also done Badwater. He's done it more times than Ed, I think. Ed's done it 9. Ray is somewhere over 10. And then I just got news tonight that Jake Jackson, who was on our 24-hour U.S. team that won the gold, he was our third athlete, I believe, in that race. He is going to be running the 100-miler. I believe the 100. I don't know if he's doing the 24 or the 100, but he should be up there. So it should be quite a race. We look forward to seeing those 3 gentlemen and many others. What's one of the great things about doing these loop races is you get to see amazing, great athletes and everyone else. It's just a fun time. Hayward Field Tour, highly recommend. On my website, andynoise.com, you can find this. And there's Ashton and his wife show you a tour of the facility. Royal Olympic Trials, and I'm sure other championships will be held in the future. Amazing facility. I thankfully got to go visit my buddy Tracy B up in Oregon, Eugene, and got to see the old Hayward Field and walk around the area, and it was very fun to do, and hopefully I'll be able to come up there and watch some of those meets. Bakersfield has been really hot, but now finally it was in the 70s today. But August was the hottest month ever in California. And of course here Death Valley, hit a record high on August 17th of 130 degrees, August 16th. And just crazy. If you've seen any pictures of California, San Francisco with orange skies, our air is really bad, and you can hear it in my voice probably. Speaking of 24-hour World Championships, they've announced the 2023 World Championships are going to be in Chinese Taipei, December 2nd through the 3rd, 2023. I might go to that. I mean, hopefully if I got my passport. I've never been to Asia. I want to go there sometime, so possibly I'll go there and cover it, especially if my podcast and YouTube channel keep growing. And thank you for the support. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps me, and also, leave me reviews. If you ever want to get a hold of me, of course, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as Andy Noise. Bring Back the Mile talks about a new training group that's been launched in Flagstaff and sponsored by Under Armour. Under Armour, I believe, makes some pretty good ultra shoes. I know Cameron Haynes, who's on the Joe Rogan show a lot, and who's a bow hunter, he's been racing in them. And in fact, I've been talking to Jester about maybe trying to get a hold of Under Armour and seeing if he could wear their shoes for his quest to get back his 100 record in a year. So this is a track-based team, and obviously there's been so much success lately with teams getting together. The original guys were the Hanson Distance Project, who got a bunch of college guys to end up running together and working at their shoe stores and made Olympic marathon teams. And then other people have used that model, the Oregon Distance Project, and Hanson brothers, of course, were the original guys. And then, of course, up in Flagstaff, you have the Hoka team. And so Dark Sky Distance is going to be there in Flagstaff, 7,000 feet, got great trails, got great facilities. It gets Dark Sky because their city's commitment to reducing light pollution and the preservation of the night sky. And should be pretty cool. My interest is Blake Haney runs for them. And Blake Haney grew up in Bakersfield. He went to Stockdale High. I got to follow his career. He had a phenomenal career in high school, won some state championships, ran some pretty fast times. I went to high school with his mom, knew her quite well. 7-time All-American at Oregon. He's mainly a 1,500 guy. His personal best is 3:39. And the mile he ran 3:56. Really like that the NCAA brought back the mile so that college guys get a chance to break 4 minutes in the mile. So good luck to Blake. I know he's been up there for a while, past year, during all this COVID and training. So check that out. Of course, some bad news in the track and field front. This is happening more and more. Track and field and teams getting discontinued. Of course, this is often a theme that Minnesota Gophers are getting rid of their indoor men and indoor and outdoor men's track programs. A lot of it has to do with Title IX. Like here in Bakersfield, our Cal State Bakersfield has a track team, but the men don't have a cross country, but the women do. The Gophers have been having really good teams in the lately. It's like, in 2016 there was 2 Olympians from there. Meade, 5,000 meter record and 10,000 meter record holders there, 13:28 and 28:12, and then Blankenship, also who ran the Olympics and his school record was 3:39, which is the same as Blake Haney's. So it's really sad to see that these programs are getting cut. But with COVID especially, programs are getting cut left and right. And it's kind of ironic when you're cutting these kind of programs because a lot of times these track and field teams are the most diverse teams they have at these schools. And then lastly, a little better news. 60 years ago, Abibi Bikile won the Olympic marathon. He was a late injury replacement. And without a pair of fitting shoes, he chose to run barefoot on the streets of Rome and clocked a world record. Still owns a Guinness World Record, I guess, for running barefoot. Just phenomenal. I remember they ran that race at night, and it's amazing. You should Google it and check it out. It's a brilliant race. Sadly, his career ended. He won, I think, in 68 also, but his career ended shortly thereafter because he was in a terrible car accident, which took his life far too soon. So that's Endurance Noise Daily. Please, like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel and rate my podcast if you can. And as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.